Say his name and he appears, ladies and gentlemen. We are back. We are back. How's everybody doing today so far? I'm so excited to be back, by the way. But how is everybody doing today? As always, I'm Ty Zika. I am a part of the YouTube channel Ty Talks Pro Wrestling. And it's been a little while since we've done a live stream. It's been about 3 months now. And what can I say? It's been a crazy 3 months. With college and all that stuff getting started and stuff like that. College has definitely taken the forefront on my priorities and stuff like that. So I missed a lot, man. It's crazy. SummerSlam Part 2 I didn't do. AJ Lee Brock came back, AJ Styles and John Cena had a banger at Crown Jewel. But you know what? If you guys were watching some other people do that, that's good. We're going to talk about what's been going on recently. And if just so I can show you guys what I've been doing for my college and stuff like that. This is what we did. Because I got my fan on in here, but this is what we did. Halloween Bash. One of the coolest things I've ever done of planning, hosting, and attending a college event. That was one of the coolest things I'm ever going to do. That was awesome. And I think you guys saw on my thing I posted I got into like a car accident and stuff like that. And I was supposed to do a stream that day, and then it just got pushed back. So I apologize for that. But we got a couple things we're going to be talking about today, some big things, not just really reviews in general, just things that I really want to talk about with wrestling. I have 5 things that we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the John Cena Farewell Tournament, which will be starting Monday. We're going to talk about the Raw preview, which we'll get into. We're going to be talking about the SmackDown recap, and then I'll also be talking about what's going to happen for Friday's matches. And we're going to talk about who our guesses to the Mystery Man is. And then we're going to talk about a little thing I saw, because I do watch this channel. Chris Van Vliet had Grayson Waller on the show. And I do really want to talk about it because I really think this was one of the best episodes that I've ever watched of the show. So we're going to get started with the SmackDown recap. I think it was good. Not really the best it's been. To me, I love seeing the Open Challenge. I think the United States Championship has always been my favorite title, something like that. But I think that is what's carrying the show, is just the Open Challenge and like who it could be, just the technique with the matches. You had Ilya Dragunov come out, and Ciampa and Johnny came out. Ciampa wanted to challenge him, and he turned down Ciampa and was like, "Hey, Johnny, you want a match? Like, you can have the match." It was a great match. Great match. So I think it's going to be leading towards maybe a triple threat between Axiom, Ciampa, and Dragunov for the championship, which is pretty cool. Nathan Frazier faced Dragunov last week, so I feel like that's what's going to kind of set up to, is that, they're both going to want the same opportunity. And that's what I want to see. Like, the Open Challenge that I remember really well is when they came down to my hometown, and R-Truth was the champion. And Samoa Joe walked out, and then Rey Mysterio walked out, and then Andrade walked out. So it was a Fatal 4-Way matchup just in like my hometown. It was like a random awesome match, and I was like, oh man, this is really cool. And at that point, Samoa Joe was super over, but I wanted Rey to win because I was a huge fan of Rey. And Samoa Joe ended up walking out the champion. That was really cool for that to happen, especially at a show in my hometown, which, doesn't get too many big moments, but we did get a huge moment that night. So that was really cool. We had Charlotte versus Nia Jax, and Last Legend debuted from NXT, so that's pretty cool. I feel like it's good they moved Last Legend up. I feel like she's not going to really do much on NXT, so it was good they moved her up when they did. So Nia Jax has a buddy now, and that'll be just another good team for the tag team division. So, Last Legend helped Nia Jax pick up the win. And, there's been rumors that she's going to be joining the Women's War Games match. So the prediction of Last Legend joining the War Games match is definitely coming to fruition, it looks like, because she's just got called up to the main roster with Nia Jax. And now they're in a rivalry with Charlotte and Alexa Bliss, so that makes it sense that, Charlotte and Alexa will be on one side, and then the Kabuki Warriors, who they've been feuding with, and Nia and Lash will be on the other team. So it definitely makes sense that that's what's going to be happening for that. We also had the men's, the tournament matches get announced by Nick Aldis, which we're going to get into this Cena Farewell Tournament, how I feel about the matches that have been announced so far. So we're not going to go into who that got picked, but that's what happened. R-Truth came in and said some funny quips. I love that R-Truth gets to come on show and do all that stuff. So I thought that was pretty cool. And I'm going to think what else. We had Cody Rhodes start off the show saying, like, Drew's in the past, I'm going to move on, and Aleister Black came out. That was really cool. A really cool thing in AEW was Malachi Black, how he was known in AEW, and Cody Rhodes. So I think that's going to be a really cool program if that's what they're running with. And they had a match for the main event, so that would be their main event match later on. And yeah, but SmackDown, and then they had a Jade Cargill promo. It does feel like they don't really have any storylines to go on. It feels like they're just relying on like the matches to take place and do the wonders. That's at least what I feel like, that we've had no really huge storyline other than Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes. I feel like that was a really good storyline. And but I think what some people are just really complaining about is like there's no storylines with the US title, there's no storyline with just like the tag titles. I mean, they have been booking the Y6 with the MFTs, but they just haven't done anything to further those storylines yet. They're just relying on the match quality to, really carry the show. And that's cool and all, but that's what AEW does. And, in some people's minds, that's not cutting it for AEW. And to me, I do love storyline, but I also do love match quality as well. So for me, I would say, what gets me invested is the storyline, but the match quality is what takes it home and stuff like that. Like there wasn't really much storyline with AJ Styles and Cena. There was a little bit that the fans wanted it to happen. They didn't think it was going to happen, but the match quality was great. So, you could see that was a little bit of both. But I would say, and from my personal opinion, that there wasn't much storyline. There was just, this match is going to happen now because of the fans, and the match was like amazing. So, yeah, SmackDown, could improve with the storylines there a little bit. And then the main event, Cody Rhodes and Aleister Black. This was a pretty cool matchup, and Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre got involved in it. So I think it ended in a DQ. Can't remember because I was working at this time, but I did see stuff afterwards. And then Nick Aldis suspended Drew McIntyre, which I couldn't really care about. I didn't think that was good because I know Drew is probably going to be in the farewell tournament. So I don't know why suspending him, really what that does. Oh, I almost forgot too. Oh, this one's not. And then we had the Women's United Championship match on there as well. We had Julia defending against Chelsea Green, and this is probably going to be the thing that upset most people on Friday, is that there wasn't really a storyline with it either. With the storyline, there wasn't much story going into Julia versus Chelsea Green in the first time, and Julia hasn't really been defending the title. She wasn't really on TV, and so people were probably like, I don't know what's going to happen. Is Julia going to beat her? It was basically a squash match where Chelsea Green just, they kind of fought for 3 or 4 minutes, and Chelsea Green just used the ropes to pin Julia and win the championship. Now, don't get me wrong, Chelsea Green is a great wrestler, but you kind of buried Julia in a way. Chelsea Green deserves the belt back. That's I understand that for sure, because her and Ethan Page just won the AAA mixed tag titles. I think it was last week, and they're a great team. I want to see them on SmackDown. I hope when they come to my town, I I hope when SmackDown comes near me, I hope they're both there because I think they're a great pairing. They're funny, and they're one of the great things about NXT right now. So and they were on SmackDown too, and Ethan Page was like so happy for Chelsea when she won, but in the way Julia did get buried in a way because she hasn't been on TV that much, and she was this huge prospect in NXT. So it does make me wonder, did they call up Julia really too quick? Because they wanted to put her on SmackDown. They wanted to get her eyes on her on the main roster, but was it too soon to put her up there? Only time will tell with that. But so yeah, SmackDown was okay. It was okay. I'm hoping we get to see Dragunov with more defenses. I'm hoping even I think what people want is like a number one contenders match. Like that at least gets a storyline going. Like, let's say you have a triple threat qualifier match in 2 weeks, and Nick Aldis next week says, hey, we're going to have qualifiers in like next week. That's a storyline to build up Dragunov's new challenger, something like that. And with Jade Cargill too, she cut a promo and it was so-so, with this title, but they had her squash Tiffany, which was okay. I like that they're building up Jade Cargill to be this beast, which I know she is. And only time will tell with Jade Cargill's reign. What I do hope for Cody Rhodes' championship is that it's Drew, that it's Priest, that it's Black, and it's a triple threat Fatal 4 matchup for War Games. So I hope that happens if Drew comes back or not. Let's get into the next thing because we talked about it. John Cena Farewell Tournament. The Last Time Is Now tournament. I saw the promo for it, Saturday Night Main Event. They played a promo during the event saying, we're going to have a Last Time tournament. The matches which they've announced really so far have been pretty poor in my opinion. I don't really understand why they're booking the matches they are. They don't really seem like matches that I'm too interested in. Like, for Monday Night Raw, Rusev is going to face Damian Priest. Okay, cool, I guess. Rusev and Cena have had a good match and stuff. Damian Priest is somebody who hasn't faced Cena before, but they do seem like an odd pairing for a matchup. But, could be interesting. Will Aleister Black play a role in that as well? Possibly. Another match for Raw, Shinsuke Nakamura and Sheamus. Shinsuke has been off TV for a while. He just has been off TV for a while. There's no saying that Shinsuke is not a great star and that he and Cena have, but their match was so-so. I think they had one match like a long time ago where the winner faced Jinder Mahal for championship. That's a flashback to for Jinder Mahal being champion, and Cena and Shinsuke just facing on a random SmackDown for the winner to face Jinder. I don't really know why Shinsuke's in the tournament, but and his opponent's going to be Sheamus, which, Sheamus and Cena have had a long storied history, but I don't really know. We were supposed to get a lot of new people. At least I thought we were supposed to get a lot of new people having an opportunity to face John Cena. And when I'm reading this list, it's Rusev, it's Shinsuke, it's Sheamus. That's 3 people that have already faced John Cena before. I thought that we were going to get more people who did not face Cena than what we have already got. I thought it was going to be like, like 16 guys are going to get a shot at the tournament, and they all haven't faced him before. I thought that was really cool. Or maybe you put in 1 or 2, and the rest aren't people who've faced him before. But I feel like there's a lot of people who have already faced him before. And I feel like there should be more who haven't faced him. And then we're going to talk about who Nick Aldis announced for SmackDown. He announced Miz and Jey Uso, and I'm not going to lie to you guys, I don't like this match at all. I don't. Miz and Cena have fought before. Their matches have never been good. He talks about that WrestleMania match all the time. That match is terrible. So I didn't like it. And Jey Uso, I don't know what was with Jey Uso right now. Is he a face? Is he a heel? I don't know. But that match does not intrigue me at all. It does not. It really doesn't. And I don't want to see Jey Uso win again. It's not. I'm a fan of Jey Uso for now, I guess, but it's not like that's who I want to win the tournament. I don't want him to beat The Miz over. I'd rather The Miz win, honestly. And then the next match is LA Knight versus a mystery opponent. And I'm like, okay, Ellen. But to me, you don't need LA Knight to lose to the mystery opponent. LA Knight should be the one moving past the first one. And I'm like, well, maybe you should have had Jey Uso or The Miz face this mystery opponent, because then, the mystery opponent would win for sure. But yeah, that's another thing I have on my list over here is what we're going to talk about. Who is this mystery man who is going to be facing LA Knight? And, is he going to win? It depends on really who it could be. There's people off the top of my head. I'm thinking, excuse me, Chris Jericho, Jeff Hardy. I don't know why Jeff is up on my list, but he's up there. Matt Cardona, is another guy. Could it be Joe Hendry who shows up? That'd be a couple cool people that I'd like to see. And we haven't even seen who got announced for NXT. I'm assuming this Tuesday we'll see who Ava has selected from NXT. And then that'll be, because it's 16 guys and we already got 8 of them. So then why did they announce? Maybe on NXT they're gonna be Penta, but why did they announce so many people and then not put any of them in there? I feel like that's weird to me. Because if you remember that promo they showed us, they showed Bronson Reed, they showed Penta, they showed Carmelo, they showed Drew, they showed Walter. So it's like, there's 2, 4. Okay, I am forgetting. My math's terrible. There's only 12 people because we had 2 matches get announced, and there's 8 matches because it'll be 16. Okay, so I am forgetting a little bit of people. My math is off. I'm sorry. But still, it does feel like, how are you going to get all those people in matches unless, they are facing some of the NXT people and stuff like that. But how many will be in there? I don't know. I do want to see Ethan Page in that tournament, though. I really want to see Ethan Page in that tournament. Maybe Trick Williams, too. Put him in there, depending on how that happens and stuff like that. And maybe Oba Femi. I don't know. He's been off TV. That'd be a cooler way to bring him back in. It does seem like a mismatch a little bit, though, for Oba and Cena. So maybe that's not the best idea. Maybe Joe Hendry's going to be on the NXT side of things this Tuesday. But yeah, this mystery man could be a number of people. I think Chris Jericho is at the top of the list. Even some people are even saying Edge because, there's been rumors that he's been coming back to do a match. It's very possible that he could be doing it. I feel like Jeff Hardy's a cool option too because he's faced Cena before. He's been on NXT. I feel like he could easily do it. But with TNA coming back on the road soon because they've been off for a month, it does reduce his chances a little bit. What about if it's Nick Nemeth too? I didn't even think of that one. What about if it's Dolph Ziggler or Nick Nemeth in TNA? That'd be a cool one too. I didn't even think of that one. But there's a lot of guys they could really do for this mystery opponent. And that does intrigue me a little bit. So I will definitely be tuned in next Friday to watch this match, as well as I will be tomorrow. Today was Saturday, but tomorrow is Monday. So I will definitely be tuned in tomorrow to see, who wins over Rusev and Priest and who wins over Shinsuke and Sheamus. But we're going to talk about the Raw preview as well. But yeah, there's a lot of cool things that I really do think they could have done with this tournament. And so far, I do feel like the matches are a little bit like, who cares, They could, there are, I think, 8 more matches they can make. So I feel like you could do a lot for these other 8 matches. You still have Walter, Penta, call them Walter. Call them Walter because that's what I do. I used to with my figures and stuff like that. I used to just call him Walter all the time when I would do shows with that and record it. I'd say Walter and stuff like that. Never say Gunther. But yeah, Gunther, McIntyre, Penta, Carmelo. There's a lot of good people you can still put in this tournament and do put good matches up. So let's hope that happens. Here's one of the biggest stories that I really want to talk about, and I'm gonna post this on Instagram too, probably, or at least one part of it. Hopefully. But this is something that I really saw that I was really. I really don't know how to put this into words. I'm just gonna say what it was, and then I'll hopefully find the words as we go along with it. Chris Van Villa, who is an awesome guy. If he's watching this, you're awesome, dude. I've watched your channel for like forever now. And he had this awesome episode recently with Grayson Waller. And I'm like, well, like Grayson Waller's a heel. Maybe he'll do a little bit of a heel thing. But he had this one moment in the video where he talked about how much he loved wrestling and he got emotional over it. And I was like, that touched me a little bit there. I'm like, Grayson Waller was so in the moment, and he said he just loves wrestling. That is what I wish every wrestler would do, is like they just love it. They get emotional about it. For me, it's the same way. I'm not going to get emotional about it right now because, that's not in the cards for right now. But when I think of my dream job and doing wrestling like becoming a professional pro wrestler broadcaster and being like your next Michael Cole or Pat McAfee or Vic Joseph or anything, that I do get emotional because that is my dream job. That's been my passion since I was probably 10 years old. So for almost 12 years, that has been my passion. So that is what my dream job is to work for the WWE and be behind that announcer table and be casting like, look at this match. This is what wrestling is. Because I've always been a fan of it. And it's the same thing for the wrestlers. They've worked their whole life to becoming a professional wrestler and an athlete. And that really touched me in a way to see that Grayson Waller was getting so emotional about his journey and that he's so proud to do what he does. That really touched me, really did. So if you're watching this, Grayson Waller, props to you, man. I really, your words really hit me there, and I'm so happy that he feels that way. I wish all people felt that way about it. There's some days when I just think about doing this as a living and just doing my sitting by the announce table, calling matches with Michael Cole, and being like, this is my life. Like, this is what I'm passionate about. I love talking about all types of wrestling and stuff like that, and I really do. It's my life. I love it, and I will never ever take it for granted. It's just one of the coolest things in the world, and I love it. It's seriously. So, to both the people, to Chris, to Grayson, you guys were awesome. That was a great episode. So yeah, I do urge people to go watch it because I literally saw the one clip of him talking about it and I watched it all the way through, and I thought it was one of his best episodes he's ever done. And I thought it was a great guest to have on there. I thought he was funny. I thought he was being his heelish self, talking about, but I don't agree with you talking about my boys, the Hardys, Grayson. If you're watching this, I don't agree with that. They're my boys. Look at this. Look at this poster back here. And look at this behind me. You see that? I'm a Hardy Boys for life. Even though I do love the New Day, too. But I'm always going to be a Hardy Boys fan. So the next thing on the show we're going to talk about is the Raw preview. So, of course, your 2 matches will be on the Last Time Is Now tournament. So that's going to be pretty interesting to see. I think Aleister might show up and cost Priest, but we'll see. And Rusev even caught a nice promo last week. He's like, well, I've got to do this. I've got to redeem myself. And by winning this tournament and facing Cena, that will get me closer to my goal of being a champion. I think Rusev has done pretty good work since coming back from coming back over from AEW to WWE. I think he's done pretty good work. He's been in the Intercontinental Championship scene a lot. He's gotten a great win against Sheamus. And I would be down for another Sheamus versus Rusev match because their match at Clash in Paris was phenomenal. Phenomenal. So yeah, if we get that match again, I'm absolutely okay with it. Absolutely okay with it. And as well, we're gonna have Asuka and Kairi Sane challenging Alexa Bliss and Charlotte for the tag titles. And as well as that, we have Cena on the show as well. I completely forgot though what else was going to be on the show. I had it on my phone like 20 minutes ago and stuff like that, but I completely forgot about what was going to be on there. But yeah, I'm excited. You know, John Cena's going to be on the show. This will be his second to last thing on Raw, I think. I think it's going to be his second to last. And I think this one is in Boston. I think this is I'm almost positive that this is in Boston, Massachusetts tomorrow, which is his hometown. So I feel like he's going to get a really good reaction to it. And, you know, he may get choked up. He has gotten choked up before in the crowd of his hometown. So it's really cool that we're going to get to see that. But yeah, I'm really excited. Also, Stephanie Vaquer versus Raquel Rodriguez for the Women's World Championship. That's going to be an interesting one too, because last week on Raw, Raquel and Roxanne beat the team of Stephanie and Nikki Bella. Awesome match too. I really like that. And yes, it is in Boston, Massachusetts. So he's going to kick off the show tomorrow, and then we're going to have those 2 tournament matches, and then 2 more title matches on top of it. So loving it. I think I said this 3 months ago. The women matches have been some of the best matches I've been watching recently. Like, I've been enthralled with the women's matches as of late. Like, since I want to say past. Oh man, I think since like Mania, maybe before Mania. Yeah, probably before Mania was when they really started to pick up, because I was noticing at like the first one that I really think off the top of my head was like Rhea and Io Sky on Raw before. It was like leading up to WrestleMania, and then it was WrestleMania. We had the triple threat, and then we had Rhea and Io at Evolution, and then we had the triple threat at SummerSlam. We've just been having a bunch of, and then the whole Evolution card was just phenomenal. Like that, I think I said that in my long video. Second best show of the year, in my opinion, because the match quality and just everything was phenomenal. Like, from the start with Becky Lynch defending her title against Lyra and Bayley, phenomenal. The women's tag title match, Fatal 4-Way, phenomenal. I love that. And then the main event was phenomenal too. And then you had Naomi cash in. Phenomenal. Seriously. Second best pay-per-view of the year for me. But yeah, what are we gonna see on Raw? No clue. No clue what we're gonna see. I think my prediction is gonna be that Rusev beats Priest because of Aleister Black, and my prediction is gonna be Sheamus beats Shinsuke. And I would love to see Rusev versus Sheamus again. I just don't feel like Shinsuke is going to win because he just hasn't been on TV enough. I feel like Shinsuke putting him in there is like, you know who's going to win. Rusev or Priest is an interesting one because I feel like you could have either person win that match. I feel like you could have anybody win that matchup. I feel like that one's like a coin flip. You could just be like, oh, wow. Like, that is going to happen. But so, yeah, I feel like that could definitely happen. So, yeah, I'm very excited to see Raw. And then my birthday's Tuesday. Yeah, special NXT as well. We got the Speed Championship is on the line. We got El Grande Americano defending his title against Jasper Troy. And we have a last man standing match for the NXT Championship. Ricky Starks, the absolute Ricky Starks, against Trick Williams. And that should be a great match, by the way. The one at Halloween Havoc was a little bit, I'm like, okay, it was okay. But with Halloween Havoc, that was a phenomenal show. And then the main event just kind of fell flat for me a little bit. And then we have the Women's Speed Championship match. I think Fallon Henley's taking on the winner of LFG Season 2. I forgot what her name was. But that should be interesting. I think Fallon Henley's going to win that match, and then it'll be Zarya versus Fallon Henley for the Speed Women's Championship, which is cool because they're both really good stars, and I think either of them could be great Speed Women's Championships holders. And yeah, so Ruka just got announced she's coming back too. Oh, I'm so happy. So happy that we're going to get to see her versus Blake Monroe for Gold Rush. Very excited for that. And, Joe Hendry came out. I hope to see him on this week. I hope to see Thea Hale on this week. I hope to see Ethan Page and Chelsea Green on this week for NXT. It should be a really cool NXT. I've been loving NXT for a while. Even got on the shirt, I believe in Joe Hendry. Because I do believe in Joe Hendry. I think him and Thea Hale would be great mixed tag team champions, but do I want them to win? I'm looking down at the shirt and I'm like, well, do I want to? I'm going to go with the heels on this one. I'm sorry, Joe. I'm wearing the shirt, but I'd rather Ethan and Chelsea retain the belts. I'm sorry. How can I believe in Joe Hendry and then not pick him to win, right? Terrible. I'm terrible. But yeah, I think that's pretty. I'm excited for this tournament. For John Cena. I know we've only got like a month left of Cena, and it's tough. It's really setting in now. It's like he's only got 4 more appearances left. But what I hope for War Games is that I hope he's on the card. There's been rumors he's going for a possible 18th championship. I don't think that's going to happen. If anything, I think he'll face Dom for the Intercontinental title, and he'll, defend that title in his last match. So the winner of the tournament gets to face him, but not only that, could win the Intercontinental Championship again. There's been a lot of rumors that, it's going to be Gunther that wins the title. And, as much as I would love Gunther to be his final opponent, why does Gunther need to win the Intercontinental Championship again? He doesn't. He doesn't need to win that title, if that's what happens. If he wins it, that's fine. But I really don't know if he needs to win that championship necessarily. If it does happen that way, that's okay. I think Gunther's already shown that he could raise that championship because he's already done it before. He's already done it before. And that he would be on Raw. It could potentially lead to Gunther versus Sheamus again. And then that would be the way that Sheamus wins the title. And I would easily say that if you have Gunther win the title at John Cena's final match, you easily have Gunther go to Vegas as champion, and you have Sheamus beat Gunther for the title in Vegas. And, that's how Sheamus wins the title that he's always wanted to win. But yeah, I'm excited for Raw. I'm excited for NXT. I'm excited for SmackDown. I'm excited for this whole tournament to see, who we get. I'm hoping the winner of this tournament is somebody who did not face Cena prior. So if Priest does go all the way, that's okay. If Gunther goes all the way, that's okay. If the Mystery Man goes all the way, and if it's somebody who hasn't faced Cena in a while, like Jericho or Jeff or Matt Cardona, that would be even cool as well. Or if it's even like a guy like Joe Hendry, I'd be fine with that too. So I think it's going to be. I think that they're putting all these guys in, but I think the end result will be pretty good and stuff like that. So, like I said, before my birthday is Tuesday, so 22, we're turning 22. So I'm very excited to do all that. And now I just want to go from wrestling to what's been going on in my personal life. I can't tell you guys how much I've been having a great time at college. I seriously can't say it enough. If any of my college friends are watching this, you guys are the best. I love you guys, seriously. Doing that bash was the best thing I've done in a while. And oh damn. And that means a lot. I got to plan it, I got to host it, I got to attend it with my friends, and it meant a lot there because there's been a lot of tough times, getting in the accident back in August. It was 1 week before I went back to college. That was really scary. thank God I wasn't hurt too badly, but my brother and my dog were in that car. So, it was just a little bit scary. And I didn't want to take a break to, just kind of like, decompress and get ready for college. And it's been great. Nothing bad about it so far. Just having fun with these guys has just been one of the best things I've gotten to do. And, this Halloween bash that we hosted on the 30th was one of the coolest days of my life. I mean that. It was so cool to see how many people turned up. It was so cool to see what we did. And this is who I actually dressed up as. I dressed up as Eric Draven from The Crow. I have a picture on my phone. I'll try to get it up. But, it was such a great event. In general, I don't want to knock any of this stuff down behind me, but I'll pull it up on my phone recently. It's also on my Instagram if you guys want to go check that out. It's I think it's what it is. TyJ11, I think it is. Let's see what it is. Yeah, TyJ and then 111. If you guys want to go check it out, it's on the Instagram. But yeah, that was such a cool picture to do, and I do owe it all to my dad and me, who did all this stuff with it. But it was one of the coolest things I ever got to do. And I really wanted to do this thing because as of last year it was a part of a grade. This year the advisor had a different idea because we had a different advisor and he didn't want to do it. So I took it upon myself to like really plan it out because it was a passion project. It wasn't just for it wasn't for a grade. It wasn't to get eyes. It was a passion project. I love Halloween. I love dressing up the first year, which I dressed up as the Joker, which I do have some Joker stuff over here. I have a poster on the other side. I have a poster behind me over here too. So I'm a huge Joker fan too. And, I really wanted to dress up this year, and I did. And it was a great time. I do owe it all to my friends who really did help me set up the day of, and did help with some of the planning going forward. But yeah, it was one of the best days of my life, and I can truly say that 100%. And I hope there's more good moments to come along, as I do only have about like 6 more months of college, and then I'm done. I'm done with this one, and then we really do have to take a big overlook and be like, well, what do we want to do next? But of course, before I do graduate, I'm still gonna be thinking, like, I'm gonna be thinking this week. But yeah, it's been a great semester so far, and I hope there's more good moments to come along with it. And I do want to personally thank all you guys that do watch my videos and stuff like that, and do watch every episode. I know it's been about 3 months since I did it, and you guys are probably like, well, he's not coming back, but I am back. I am back, baby. We're back. So do expect to see another episode now, I'm hoping to do one like every week. It might not be on the weekends, but just one every week. And we'll talk about just everything. We won't be doing like Raw reviews, SmackDown, just whatever I feel like talking about with wrestling. And then we'll bring up some more. I'll always inform you guys with the personal stuff going on. So yeah, but I've never been this in a happier place than I am with work and family, and doing this and doing with college stuff. I've never truly been in a happier place than I am right now. And that is all thanks to my friends, to you guys watching the channel. But, the last month have been great too as well. So yeah, I really do owe it all to you guys, my fans, and, all the stuff that's been going on in recently. And, I hope you guys still watch the videos. I hope you guys drop a like, all that stuff. And, I just can't be more thankful for, all you guys sticking around and just being here and helping me out, grow my channel, and, get more views on it and stuff like that, because at the end of the day, the goal is to, just have fun with it. It's not to get recognized by WWE. If that happens, that's just a bonus. But this is what I love doing. I love talking about wrestling. It is easily one of my biggest passions, and I just can't be more thankful enough. So do expect to see a video probably because it's Sunday today, so officially it's the start of a new week. But I may do another one later on the week, maybe a Wednesday video, maybe a. I think I work Friday from like 5. Yeah, so probably maybe Wednesday, because we'll talk about Raw, NXT, how the birthday went, and then we'll be talking about other stuff. So yeah, there's always news in the wrestling world. So if I do a video on Wednesday, I'm assuming we'll have a lot to talk about. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys do want to go follow my social, TyJ111 on Instagram, and yeah, just drop a like, drop a comment. I appreciate all the love you guys have given me, and there will be more to come in the future. So I am back. We're not going to be gone for 3 more months this time. So I do appreciate all the love you guys have given me, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out, everybody.